What's up? Welcome to another episode of Game Changer Podcast. I'm your host, Mario Socrates, and I'm here with my co-host, Boss Man Jay and Nom G. What up, fella?
What's going on?
What's up?
So today, man, I guess we get back into some domestic violence, but this time it ended in tragic where someone was unalive. And we're going to talk about Kirk and Rasheeda Frost from the hit TV show, a reality TV show, Love and Hip Hop. It was their daughter boyfriend who was I guess a known rapper, T Hood, and I guess she got tired of him jumping on her. She called her brother, and he came over, and unfortunately, the rapper T Hood was unalive. So we'll talk about that. And I don't know. I really haven't followed too much of it. I seen it, heard about it, but you got a pretty good insight on what was going on. Want to tell us anything about it?
Yeah, I think I should probably even have a little bit more on it, but it seems that the boyfriend just was pretty much abusive in their relationship, and he really was jumping on her throughout the whole relationship. And it seems that the daughter of Kirk and Rasheeda finally was fed up and made that call, but the call turned tragic. I don't think it was supposed to go that way, and essentially the boyfriend lost his life, which is, it's tragic that happens, but we know that happens a lot within, around the way, around the community, around the way that happens, where females will be dating a guy and the guy be putting his hands on her, or doing certain things abusive, or being manipulative, just doing certain things that are just out of pocket. And the lady will give a call to her brother or her cousin, her brother or her male cousin, and it turns into a situation where somebody might just get beat up or fight. But in certain cases, people lose their life. And then
then with that, Rasheeda and Kirk are called out on Twitter and stuff for something they kids done did, being that they are such high profile people that it makes news. But what a way to find out that your son killed somebody on Twitter. Somebody calling you out.
But they going at Rasheeda because if y'all remember, a few years ago, K. Michelle was speaking on domestic violence and her being abused, and Rasheeda was saying that it was her fault that it was happening to her. So a lot of people has been on Twitter and other social media sites trying to get her to speak on it. Is she saying that it was her daughter's fault that man was putting his hands on her, like you said that K. Michelle was to blame for her abuse? So that's what a lot of people was going at her about. Then another thing,
the internet never forgets.
It so don't. But to go back on what Nom said when he said it wasn't supposed to happen that way, and unfortunately this guy did lose his life. But to shoot him 5 times, that's a bit excessive.
5 times in the back. In the back.
I think that's a bit excessive for something that wasn't supposed to happen. It was supposed to be just an ass whooping, and you know what I'm saying, we get up, dust ourselves off, and live to fight another day. But shoot a guy 5 times is excessive, and we know how this goes. The sister or the daughter is the man is getting abusive, putting his hands on her. So the daddy, the uncles, the brothers, whatever male she has in her life at that time comes to her defense. And a lot of times, it ruins relationships, because I learned a long time ago to keep my nose out of my female cousins and family members' business, because you get into it with the guy and then they right back with him. So this ain't just a one-time thing, because you can see in the videos that this guy has been whooping her for a long time. Even they even got a video, man, where He just walks in the room and she's in the bed asleep, bro, and he just jumps on her. So like he had to have some type of mental issues, bro. Cause there's no way in hell you walk in a room, bro, and just dive on somebody like that for no reason. Well, we don't know. I'm not gonna say it was for no reason because I don't know what happened before that. But to see her sleep and start beating on her in her sleep, it's something wrong with you.
Okay, Popeye. So my question is, why did she? It had to be a regular occurrence, because why would she have the need for that camera in there to catch all that abuse like that?
I feel like it was
that's what he abused like.
I feel like it was a setup. And they can say if they want self-defense or however you want to slice it. I feel like her recording it was their way of getting away with. Because every time it happened, she was always in bed. She was always placed to where that camera can see everything. And she even said that at one point he was snatching the cameras out of the wall. So he knew the cameras were there. He probably thought he had ripped them all out, and she had that one on standby. But to be recording it and put the videos out, and then right after your brother unalive them, now all the footage coming out. Now you got pictures and everything coming out. So where was all this before the altercation? Why are you still in a relationship with somebody who's this abusive to you? If you're this afraid of this guy, why not get out? And I understand what a lot of people gonna say is, oh, it's not as easy as you think to walk away and this and that. But it was easy for you to start recording. It was easy for you to pick up that phone and call your brother and have him come over there. Now, not only did this guy lose his life, but ultimately your brother can lose his too by going to prison.
Yeah, it's definitely a slippery slope, man, when we talk about these situations and when these situations actually transpire, because the women will be told, yeah, you need to leave the relationship. It's time for you to not be with this person, but they might get tracked down. The man might find where she at, come to her, try to see why she running, trying to go where he at, because he might be super controlling. I want to make sure that you never gonna leave me, and if you're not gonna be with me, can't nobody have you. So she mess around and might lose her life. But then she gives a call to a male family member, to come and protect her, and then it turns into the other way, where now that male family member is going to hunt down the boyfriend. So these things are, like you said, Popeye, as a male family member to young ladies, if sometimes it is smart to just step away and not ever get yourself involved in it, because you find yourself in these situations of potentially dying, dying or somebody getting hurt.
Yeah.
So
or you've ruined a relationship with somebody that now it's hard for y'all to be around each other because y'all have fought and the female is still in a relationship with him.
Exactly, because she's still dealing with this person, and the whole bunch of drama has transpired that you just can't just act like never happened.
Exactly. So now we can't even if we had a close relationship to her, because I'm pretty sure at some point, because this guy is dating his sister, so I'm pretty sure at some point they was close. They considered themselves friends. But just like any other friendship or relationship, you ain't gonna be putting your hands on my sister, bro. So I can get the why. But my thing is this: you put your brother in a situation to where the tables could have turned and he could have lost his life. Exactly. Then how would you have felt? What would you have been saying then? Would you have put those videos out then? Yeah. Would you have tried?
What if they had already had that conversation, and you already, he told them put the cameras in there so we have evidence.
That's why I was saying I think it feels like a setup. I don't think they planned on it going this way. but I think the videos was a just in case something worse than a fight happens. This way we got proof. We're not just saying that he did it, we're showing that he was doing it. Because she was posting, they were posting, well, they say her best friend was the one who was posting the pictures and the videos, but how did your best friend get these pictures and videos if you didn't send it to him? Because they don't have access to your camera.
Things that make you go,
Exactly.
And also as parents, because we know, like, the stars, and the reason why this is even really having headlines is because of Kirk and Rasheeda. So them as parents, this is also a good reflection on the parents when you have children and children come of age and they're living with their significant other, and you being able to, are you able to put your 2 cents into your children and let them hope that they understand that you may not agree with who they dating or who they're living with, and and when you're a father, when should you step in, when should you step out, when you know that your young daughter, your baby girl is being abused, because obviously Kurt knew about this too as well. So that's another predicament that's there to me that should have some light shined on it, because as a parent, you may be looking at this like, I want to hop in, I want to do something, but then I also want to respect my baby girl's relationship, right?
Yeah,
but
I
like I said, also that boy had some mental health issues. Something was up with that boy.
Yeah, like, and I feel like, man, people don't. I feel like a lot of times, I'm not gonna just say people. I'm gonna say we forget that these celebrities or these semi-celebrities are also human.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the times people forget that they are flawed just like everybody else.
Exactly.
They live life just like everybody else. So like, people make mistakes. Just because they're a celebrity don't mean that they can't, slip up, because a lot of these people, some of them looked up and became famous.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know how to handle all that fame. And just because he got a little bit of money or he was making a little bit of money doesn't change who he is. This changed his bank account status. But if he's always been an abusive and evil person, money is not going to change that. Might make it worse.
It might make it worse. Yeah.
Make it better.
Yeah. If anything, it's probably it's definitely gonna magnify it.
Yeah. So like, and I'm pretty sure this ain't that those 2 or 3 videos that we seen. It isn't the first 2 or 3 times that this guy has done this, because for him to come over to his sister's rescue to defend his sister, this has had to have happened a lot, and that goes back to talk about what Noam was saying. What was Kirk in this situation? How does Kirk feel about this? What did Kirk try to do at any point, or did he just not care? Because I ain't gonna lie, if that was my daughter, man, don't listen. Y'all can argue all you want. Don't you put your hands on my daughter and put no bruises in her motherfucking face or nowhere else. Because I don't give a fuck how she feel about you. I don't give a fuck what she want to do after you done whooped her ass. Me and you got a problem.
Yeah.
She gonna be mad at me, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna still be her daddy.
Yeah.
So she can be mad all she want, but boy, I'm finna beat your ass. And y'all niggas need to learn to keep y'all hands off these damn women, bro. Like, I don't understand that. But like I was saying earlier, man, this dude, he had to have some mental problems. Like, something had to be going on with him. Something was wrong with him. He had to be on some medications or something. I seen one of the videos where she was just having a conversation with this man, and he started pulling his hair like he was just breaking down. Like, nigga, what the? You know what I'm saying? Like,
he not all there. He definitely needed a psychological evaluation.
Yeah, because there's definitely something going on inside you and inside your head to have you walking in a room and then she's small. This ain't no big girl, bro. You like that? That's a little bit of girl. She's small, and the way he was jumping on her, man, and like dragging her out the bed and doing all this, like, I'm he lucky that he ain't never unalive her at some point. And I feel like it was gonna get to that point. That's why her brother had to step in the way he did. And but at the end, the way it did, it's fucked
But
up.
they denied it at first. They denied her brother denied anything, knowing anything about it. It was his family that calling her brother and them out. And shit.
Oh, so her brother now tried to say that they didn't have nothing to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So did this happen at her house or did it happen somewhere else?
I'm not sure about that now.
Yeah, I don't know exactly the location either.
Yeah, but either way, bro, somebody lost their life. Whether, saying he was abusive or not, he still had a family. He still had people that loved him. So it's messed up that, his life was taken, because I feel like that situation could have been handled in a different way. It might would have took some time. Call the police on him a couple times, get him arrested, get a restraining order, get away from him. Then then if it continues and he keeps finding his way back in your life, then whatever you do, it's on him. He bought it on himself. But they still gotta remember, man, that man got a mama, that man got a sister, that man got family members that love him too. So no matter what he did, they are never gonna see that him losing his life justified.
No.
So I don't,
especially the way that he was, the way that he lost it, the way that he was gunned down.
exactly. Yeah, they
5 to the back is, it's pretty crazy.
And then that says a lot too. Like either he was walking away from you, or you was a coward and waited till that man turned his back to do it. So maybe he got the best of you and whooped you, and you couldn't handle that. So you waited until he turned his back to do something. Coward shit. Either way, to even bring a weapon to a fight is something else in itself.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like I think it just went left too fast, and before anybody can think about what was happening, what was going on, it was already too late.
Well, I just want to give my condolences there to Rasheeda and Kurt, and that just both families in the situation. It's a very messed up situation, and I think what can be taken out of the situation is when we see these type of if you're in one of these relationships, or you see people that are in some of these relationships, just be mindful of what can aspire and when relationships get abusive and what they can eventually turn into, and especially with just not the two people that are involved, but the other people that can get brought into the situation. It could get ugly. Multiple people can end up getting their lives taken, or never see the light of day again and be in somebody's prison cell. And there could be a whole bunch of family members that are hurt behind actions that didn't have a lot of thought put behind them.
And he also, that goes back to what we just spoke about earlier with Chicago.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you see how domestic violence can end.
Yeah.
This is an unfortunate lesson to learn, but still a lesson to be learned.
Yeah, definitely a great episode to follow up the Sha'Carri situation. Definitely, because this is the end game of domestic violence. These are the end games a lot of times in these cases. Exactly that.
it's sad, you know what I'm saying? It's a messed up thing to say, but to see like what happens now with her brother. Does he get arrested? Does he do time behind this? And if not,
Well, the last word that came out was that he was this case was being investigated as a self-defense.
how can it
So
be
they're trying to
self-defense
get
when you shot somebody in the back?
that is a good question, but that's how they trying to spin this.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna work because if his back is turned to you, he's no longer a threat. Unless
Or he said you had nothing to do with it.
unless you walked in and he was in the act of really doing some harm to your sister, like to the point to where you thought he was gonna unalive her. But 5 times is still a bit excessive. Like, you know, like one would have done whatever you needed it to do. But if he doesn't get arrested, do they think that it ends there? Do you not expect his family to retaliate? Because if he's a known rapper, then I'm pretty sure that he's from a small, I wouldn't say small town, but probably from somewhere where they wasn't as financially stable. So he probably was becoming the breadwinner of the family, and you taking that away now. So would there be some type of retaliation behind this, or is it just over?
A lot of people got hurt, so retaliation is probably going to float in the air, at least in the early days of it. You never know, because when people are hurt, a lot of times people aren't thinking.
Yeah, and hurt people.
And right, so I don't think you can just take that out of the equation. It definitely could be floating in the air.
I've never heard of him, T Hood. I ain't never heard none of his music. But
Dude, we don't hear about none of these niggas until they get killed.
Exactly. So he couldn't have been. I don't know. I guess you could say. I mean, he probably was that big. I don't know. Maybe because I mean, Atlanta is a.
Atlanta is a city of entertainment. It's a city of entertainment, and he may have been on the up and up there in ATL or in certain circles. He might have had a little bit of an internet presence. So,
but remember though, a lot of people didn't even know Nipsey when he got killed. They was like, "Who?"
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, you had to be on him. You had to be into his music and had to be onto his wave. And then if you heard that he had passed, you would be like, "Oh, okay, that's crazy," because you were actually a fan of him. Whereas this guy here, he essentially, I don't think he was nowhere near Nipsey level, as in notoriety in the name, but maybe some people in the Atlanta area, like I said, were hip to him, and people on the internet, maybe he had a couple fans on the internet, but as in, A-list rapper, no. We know for sure this man was nowhere near that.
I mean, he might be now. Once they on the line, that music fly off the shelf.
Yep. Jadakiss always said, dead rappers get better promotion. So it's the truth.
Yeah, man. Condolences to both Rasheeda's daughter and this man's family, because I'm pretty sure no matter what happened in the end, this isn't what she was wanted.
No.
And if she was with him through all of that he was doing to her, I'm pretty sure she's hurt.
For
and
sure.
Then she's probably even more hurt that it was done by the hands of her brother. Allegedly.
Yeah. Allegedly, yeah.
Because I ain't got time to be getting sued or be getting poo-poo 5 times in the back, cause and then I'm already down here, right up here in Georgia, in Lithonia. Yeah. So I ain't that far from Atlanta. Don't come looking for me.
But yeah, once again, condolences to both families and the situations that are going on and transpired. here at the Game Changers Podcast. We just wanted to bring that up to y'all today. Any last words from y'all fellas?
Yeah, you know what I hate though? Instead of them using their names, why they gotta be Kirk and Rasheeda's son or Kirk and Rasheeda's daughter? Like, what are these people's names?
Yeah, that's the shock value of of headlines.
Yeah, I guess that didn't get the clicks.
If you just name them by name, and I guess at least with this actual headline and the headlines that you see mostly on the internet. Now, if we look at an article from the actual Atlanta paper, it may not have been headlined like that. I don't know, but I'm sure even the actual press used Kirk and Rasheeda because of their celebrity to write the article.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, they are children. These are the children of celebrities. So that's what's gonna happen a lot of times when you're connected to somebody to people that are famous. Unfortunately.
But like, yeah, I just want. I don't know, bro. Like, it's a fucked up way to end the situation. And I really want to hear what Kirk and Rasheeda got to say about this, because, like I said earlier, a lot the internet didn't let her forget that she blamed K Michelle for her boyfriend jumping on her and stuff. She said it was all her fault. She said women involved in domestic violence is the woman's fault. Like they control what a man does. So do you blame your daughter?
But I don't think this her real daughter. This her stepdaughter. All these kids is Rasheeda's stepdaughter. None of these kids is Rasheeda's real daughter.
I mean, but even still, you helped raise them, because her and Kirk been together forever. So that means these are outside kids. And that's a story in itself.
They Kirk kid, but yeah, she's a stepmother.
But even as a stepmother, like, you've known this girl all her life. You probably have helped raise her to a certain extent at some point. Do you blame her for that man putting his hands on her?
That's a good question. I mean, it's different when the shoe is on your foot.
Exactly. But she was quick to victim shame K Michelle. So are you going to be a hypocrite, or are you going to stand on what you said?
I guess we only will know in the future if they come out and they are interviewed about it, and somebody may ask a question like that, or they want to go out and let the world know how they felt about the situation if they publicly want to talk about it. I guess that's the only way we would ever find that out.
We're going to have to do another update on this and Sha'Carri Richardson stuff, because I'm pretty sure this and both of them is going to be in the news heavy for the next 2 or 3 days. So, with the internet, it don't go on for too long before something else that's more entertaining happen. But that's it.
Yeah, but we'll leave it right there. Yeah, go ahead. Close it out.
I was saying that's all we got for this show, man. All I gotta do is, man, all I got to say is choose life, not violence.
Peace.
Peace.